Welcome back to the panel. Before we start the episode today, let's make sure we give a shout out to our sponsors. Today's sponsor is Voila Premium Vodka, distilled to perfection, signature brand. Make sure you guys go out and support the brand. Please drink very responsibly. Don't be out here drinking. Don't be driving. If you're at home, you're relaxing, and you're listening to the show, hey, pour you up a glass of Voila Premium Vodka. You'll like it. It'll make your day. Smooth, but hot going down. Keep you right. Now let's get on with the show. We live on another episode of the panel, man. You know, the Outsiders cast is slowly coming in and bringing everything together. Today in the studio, once again, you have your boy Lil Ron and
you got STIXX with the STIXX.
And hold on, don't act like you know stranger. Now she act like she a stranger, man.
Yeah,
Come on,
man.
A stranger? No. This is not stranger danger. This is fancy.
That's what I'm talking about. You know, this is gonna be a real good episode. So today, you know, we always pick the subject that we were actually gonna do for the day.
Right.
So, you know, we already did the foundation and we already did the AI. And you know, something I thought about the other day that would be a real good thing is a movement. Do you think that'd be a good subject for today?
You said a movement?
Yeah, a movement.
I mean, yeah. I mean, any subject is...
Any subject is a good subject.
Yeah.
Right. What kind of movement?
Well, you know, in this episode, we could talk about movements can go different ways. It can go, but before we even start, before I forget, you heard about the wildlife vodka, but are you a drinker?
Socially.
Okay, a social drink. So we're gonna get you like a shot, so we can get our honest opinion. You know, we all had our own shots. So let me pull you up. And actually, we ain't got the bartender. She's not here today, so we had to do it ourselves.
Yeah. Got to shot it up.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna get an honest opinion.
Oh, she ain't had none yet, huh?
No. This is the first time. Feel like I'm in church.
And I'm gonna turn back around. I'm gonna take one with you.
Okay. I think STIXX should have one too. I don't think we should leave them out.
Can you handle one?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I got you. Hold on 1 second. Let me get it.
Yeah, I can
Tell you
handle
what.
a small one.
There you go. Here you go.
Take a small one.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you know, I had
you
my
ready?
shot.
Yeah.
You ready?
Okay.
Shot time.
I feel like we were supposed to make a toast, but that was good.
Was it smooth?
It was smooth.
Big shout out to Voila Premium
Yes,
Vodka.
I would definitely get Voila.
That's the Voila Premium Vodka. Y'all
Be
see
like,
that?
Voila, it's good.
Yes, you know, I wanted to have your honest opinion.
That
You know,
Voila
Oh, it's
Premium
good.
Vodka.
It's really smooth.
It's
nice.
That's all us. It's coming
Yes.
to a store near you.
yes, come
Holla at
in
my
soon.
man Ron, because he got boxes and caseloads of it already, man.
Matter of fact, speaking of cases, since we actually did the pre-production of the actual alcohol, I can honestly tell you, as of this episode, we have sold over 25 cases, with 12 coming a case
Right.
of the actual vodka, and
Nice.
people been buying like 3 or more bottles. Some people just buy the whole case. Hey man, anything that support us and what we do, I told them is gladly appreciated.
Right.
But we're gonna talk about this movement today. So you know, we got Fancy in here, so we get. Before I even start, I have to say this. Because this was very important. We talked about this on the last episode.
Right.
And it's perfect time because I said we're going to talk about it on this episode, but it's going to be even better, life insurance.
Oh,
Insurance. And I didn't know that would
heard
be a
that.
good subject for her.
Life insurance.
Or either any type of insurance in general. What is your take on black and brown people and insurance? Just what is your take on it?
Well, I think that it goes across the color line, and it's just kind of like a mindset type thing. Like people that plan for their future, or they're planning for generational wealth, or they're planning on investing in themselves or their future, and they can see past tomorrow, they understand the importance of having life insurance. People that can't see past tomorrow, that are just in this moment, they don't really see the value in it.
But, you know,
They don't. They kind of feel like they have this notion that nothing is going to happen until it does. And then when it does, it's too late, in a lot of cases.
But some insurance people, not being funny, they basically try to play you out your money. They sell you this policy. They tell you that you're going to be able to pull from this policy. You're going to be able to take this from this policy. And then the big thing, a lot of people ask me questions because I did a little questionnaire before I was going to do this episode.
Right.
And a lot of people say, why come every time they get ready to lose a loved one, you got to go through bells and hoops just to get your money?
Bells and hoops to get your money. Wow. Okay, so I think it's really in knowing what it is that you're signing up for.
Okay.
A lot of people don't look at their policy. They don't read their policy. They don't understand the terms and agreements of their policy, right? So that's just like saying that I'm a smoker, but I write on my policy that I'm not a smoker.
Okay.
Right.
Something happens to you, when they do the autopsy on your body, they're going to be able to determine that you were a smoker and how often you smoke, just based upon what they're able to find.
Wow.
So you're not going to be covered for that policy because you weren't
truthful.
Right.
Yeah, you weren't honest about it. And then some people don't realize that when they have policy and coverage, like that their policy may not be in place because maybe they missed a payment.
Okay.
Maybe they thought that they had more insurance than they actually had. And underinsurance is a thing too.
Okay.
Like not having enough coverage.
Okay.
So it doesn't cover for everything that, happens to them. Some people don't factor in, like I may have, God forbid, like a stroke or a heart attack. I may not be able to work anymore. They didn't check the box and they didn't apply for the insurance that covers them, that if I lose my ability, that I'm going to be able to be insured for this. So then they think that, hey, I have insurance, it's supposed to cover this, but they didn't select that they wanted to have this part of the policy.
Almost like a cell phone thing.
And I heard you
Right.
say underinsured. So what's the best to be?
So when they say they actually have like a calculator to determine how much is enough insurance. They say that it's supposed to be like 10%, or not 10%, but 10 times the annual income that you make.
So when I was coming up, we was real big on the Gerber life insurance.
Right.
It may sound crazy, but you just get to look the
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Just imagine if you still had that now from like being 1 or 2.
Oh man.
Just imagine if, your parents were able to keep that in place and they were only paying like what, $5, $10?
Yes.
Wow,
Man.
that would be really, really great. But I think a lot of times people find themselves in financial strait, something happens, and insurance is the first thing that goes.
Right.
Yep.
Like, so then they're looking for it and they don't have it. Or, you take out the policies and you have the Index Universal Life, which is super popular right now because people are like, okay, well, if anything happens, I can take my money out of this. And, I see a lot of TikToks. I see a lot of YouTube shorts, people going crazy, Index Universal Life. But what they don't say is that there's a 14-year vesting period.
Yes.
So if you put your money in
Right.
and you're looking like, hey, I want to buy a house in a year, I'm going to go ahead and just take out this money after, a year, 5 years, 10 years, you haven't even finished letting the money vest in the account. So
Gotcha.
it's not going to be as much as what you think. And the company is saying that we would like for you. No, you can take it out at any time because it's your money. But they're saying that this is the amount of time that you're supposed to
let it
leave
stay in
it
there.
in the account.
So
that
they
it can-
give it to you before that amount of time?
Yes.
So what happens though?
Okay, you take it out, you get an 85% loan on the money.
Right.
Okay, so let's say you've had your policy for a year. You have $5,000 in your surrender, which is called the cash value, but it's also called surrender if you look at your contract. So you have $5,000. You can take out 85% of that, right?
Well, why would
And
you
you
want
don't
to
have
take
to
out
pay.
85% of
Well,
5,000?
first off, you have people that
Because that
don't
ain't
know.
no money.
But some people
To
that
you, but to
somebody
people,
else. You know, think about it.
I mean,
Some
I'm
people
not
don't-
just saying it like that, but I'm just saying like
Well, you gotta-
like the odds of that.
But you think about it. You have
I only
somebody,
let it sit for a year, and I'm gonna take out $5,000.
but you have some people that know how to, that do not know how to
Manage
use
money.
funds.
Damn.
And then they get their friends. They try to do this get rich scheme, and I get this policy, and they say if I get this policy, I can take this money out right here, and they take the money out, and they never replace it, and never put it back, and God
Right.
forbid something happened to them, and their family is stuck with actually footing the rest of the bill. They got to GoFundMe, or they on the corner selling plates trying to put their loved ones down, and that's what
Right.
they actually stuck with. And some people
Yeah,
don't
man.
understand. You know, life insurance is. Some people get it twisted. Okay, you have life insurance that actually protects you, like she say, like a cell phone. You go buy a cell phone. You want to get unlimited unlimited internet on there. You want to get unlimited talk and text, or you want to get the free HBO Max or the free Wi-Fi. And you may say, "This will save my bill." No, I'm gonna just get the one that just have only unlimited minutes. Just give me 50 gigs of data. But when you get ready to get to that point where your data is going to exceed those 50 gigs, then you get that text message from AT&T or T-Mobile to tell you exceed your data. Now it's going to slow it down. And on a policy, I can tell you, like my dad, man, when my dad passed away in 2008, he didn't have an insurance policy. And this actually made me want to do insurance. Thank God my dad, where he worked at, his job actually had, they loved him and they supported him, and they basically donated a lot of money.
Right.
And he had enough money in his 401k that was real good. So we ended up taking the 401k, but my grandmother actually took her credit card and she actually paid to put my dad down. And when my grandmother did that, when we got the check, quite naturally, we gave her her money back.
Right.
But if we would have had something in place, you know, when we coming up, our generation wasn't taught that you need life insurance. We wasn't taught that, because we come up in the era where our grandmothers and grandfathers had Montgomery Ward's credit cards. They had it, you know. The older people believe in their credit cards. They didn't really believe, and then they had their money.
Right.
They really didn't really believe in saving their money in the bank. They put them in the mattress and stuff. And
well, a lot of our grandparents went through the Depression.
okay, I remember the Great Depression.
Yeah, so they ain't trust no
So
banks.
right, and so they witnessed, and their parents witnessed, you know, what happens when the system falls apart. So they have that, and they had a different mindset when it came to money, but they knew that insurance was important. They knew that, you know, if anything happens to me, my family needs to be able to bury, and, you know, I want to set aside something for my children. And so they believed a lot more in creating generational wealth. I think a lot of us have gotten to be like real selfish and real right now. We live in a microwave society where everybody wants something and they want it quick. They want it right now. And they want the returns to be right now. Like, what can I do right now that's going to get me some money for tomorrow?
Especially the internet. The internet. I mean,
Yeah, nobody wants to wait.
No,
Like,
the internet
But the
actually messed it up.
Yes, the internet got them like
Because you got to think about it. When we back in the days when Fancy and you and I we was coming up, it wasn't like how it is right now. We didn't have the internet. It wasn't no Facebook. It wasn't no Instagram. It wasn't no Twitter.
Right.
It wasn't no MySpace. None of that stuff didn't even exist yet.
It really
so
wasn't a cell phone until we were like in our 20s.
Yeah,
So
yeah, 'cause we had beepers.
It was a beeper.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all of the technology has, you know, come into play, and now it's just kind of being able to work with it. And I think that's where a lot of the products, especially the Index Universal Life, kind of spawned from, because people were like, well, why do I have to wait till I die to get this, you know, this policy? Why would I be spending money on a $500,000 policy for my kids, you know, who don't appreciate anything? They're not taking care of their stuff right now. They're not responsible. I don't want to do it. Or I don't have any kids.
Right.
You know, why should I have insurance?
It don't
if
make
I
no
don't have
sense.
any
I don't
kids?
know.
yeah, and
You know, if I'm not trying to leave anything for anybody, what's the purpose of it?
I don't know. I think that's my problem.
a lot
'Cause
of
I ain't
people
gonna lie.
see. A lot of people don't know that it's a good side to insurance, and it's a bad side. To me, I think it's who sell you your policy, because you got good insurance brokers, and you got bad insurance brokers that do some real horrible things that make it bad. That society feel like we don't need no insurance, and I don't feel like no loved one should be stuck with the burden of you having to foot the bill when you pass away. And I think that's like very wrong. But we get stuck like that. Think about it. If we had it, imagine if we was born into having insurance and the government actually put something in place that we automatically had a guaranteed $10,000 to $15,000 insurance policy on us, whether we had insurance or not. But the only way that'll be qualified if you actually put in employment for at least 20 to 30 years. That'll be sweet. Even though I know they wouldn't do that, but
I ain't gonna lie. I think they do got some process like that in place.
They do.
We
And I
just
think
don't. Our people not going.
Well, I think that that's something that they did have. A lot of companies did have that, but I think that they've kind of gotten away from it and stopped doing it so much because the companies see value in you having insurance while you work for them. Like if you work at the hospital, you work at any corporate America job, 9 times out of 10, they're going to have a policy that you can check the box. But nowadays, people are dying at work.
Yep,
At an alarming rate. So a lot of people are transitioning, and what happens is that the job has the insurance. Well, they own that policy too.
Right.
So they're insuring themselves that if something happens to my employee, let's say for instance Ron, I'm not going to have to suffer the loss because now I don't have him, in here performing this job. It's affecting my income. It's it's affecting, the rate of growth for my business. So that's what they look at because they're looking at it like, okay, this is a commodity. This is, somebody
job,
that.
And we had that conversation. That's how my job got it set up. Now, don't get me wrong, because if something happens and I fall out and I die, my kids still will get,
Right.
They'll be straight.
But if anything happens and you get laid off.
It's gone. Yeah, that policy is gone.
When
but
in the society that we live in, not to cut you off, insurance is needed, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this is actually, people are dying left and right from the food they eating. You can go to the store and pick up a bag of Doritos and you can get shot. I mean, this is reality. I mean, insurance is like super important. People, they don't understand that insurance in general, whether you have life insurance, whether you have car insurance. Some people, they fail to realize, they feel like, well, I don't need any car insurance. I can just drive around with no problem. Prime example, one of my homeboys been driving around for like the last 10 years without any car insurance because he don't feel like insurance is very important. And what ended up happening is he ended up having a car accident. A guy ran him off the road and tore his car up. And guess what? He don't have a vehicle right now. His whole truck has been total completely out.
Yeah, and ain't nothing they can do about it.
But if he would have had insurance in place, he would have actually. And then the sad part is he had a friend riding the truck with him on the passenger side. So now his friend has to use his personal insurance, and people don't know that. You can use your insurance to do your claim on yourself. Now, they ain't going to protect him, but his friend got to use his own insurance because he was actually covered to cover him in the accident. So that's the things that people, they don't understand about insurance. I mean, that stuff is very important. Like we film. Believe it or not, even when we are on set, God forbid if anything happened to anybody, I make sure everybody that films with us on Wildlife Productions is actually insured. God forbid something happened to somebody, I can clearly say that, I got the Hartford insurance. So it's pretty cool insurance to me, but my people are protected. They get hurt on set or whatever, I can say, hey, look, don't worry about it. The Hartford, they'll take care of it. $1 million policies, man. I want to make sure people are actually good because their families will come back and sue you. So that's the things that people have to understand. That's very, very important.
Right. And I think it comes down to like younger people. I think people don't really start worrying about insurance until they get in their probably about 40. And then it becomes like more of a thing. 30, it's like the younger generation is kind of picking up a little bit more on it. They're kind of like, okay, well, I need to have something in place just in case anything happens to me. But after COVID, I think that everybody should be like really examining, just having it. I think a lot of people don't want to talk about it in our community because there's kind of like a stigma that comes along with talking about insurance. It's kind of like evoking the boogeyman. I mean,
No, that's true though.
Because people start thinking, oh, well, I don't want to think about death. I don't want to think about dying. I don't want to think about what happens to me.
Nah, you better. Because I had to learn when my son died. Like, by them being so young, we didn't have them in like no insurance like that. We was straight and we was able to pay for the burial, but that taught us like, hey, no matter how young you are, you gotta be prepared for that.
And COVID actually, a lot of people that they don't really know, a lot of people are scared to get. I have some questions that I want to ask you. I didn't know that you're an expert in this, but now I know. A lot of people be asking a question like, prime example, I remember one question was like, will they insure me that I had COVID? Because that may sound stupid.
Wow. You know what? And I think that was something that a lot of people were scared of. But yes, you will be insured if you have COVID, if you've had COVID. Now, that is a question that they do ask. And they ask, like, have you been around someone that's, had the virus, and whatnot. But they don't use that as a tool to not insure you.
Okay.
So they will ask the question on the application and the application process about COVID. If you had COVID, how long ago did you have it, and whatnot. So they do ask, but also anytime you do anything medical, it comes up in your record. So when they pull your medical report, they will know if you had COVID, if you went to the doctor, if you have high blood pressure, if you have no. So the thing is, just be honest as possible, because then that will insure you and you'll get the right amount of coverage, and you don't have to worry about when something does happen to you. They say, oh, well, you said that you never had, any type of critical ailment. And you have, because I see right here that you've been prescribed. And even if you didn't go pick up the medication, but it'll show you've been prescribed this medication, that medication. So it's best just to be honest up front and just kind of let everybody know. And then it is what it is. I think that there's coverage that you can get at every level. Like, it may only be $40 for you to get a final expense policy. I mean, and that to me is not very much money, because that's 2 drinks at the bar. How much is a bottle of wine live?
Hey, you caught my attention on that. A whole 375 milliliter bottle of Wildlife vodka is only $35.
See, and you can have a policy for that too. $35. But yeah, $35 is a great price.
Yeah, I wanted to make
especially for that
nice and affordable. But what do you do when you have a person that is a social drinker, like you said yourself? When I answer the questionnaire and they ask me, do I drink? And let's say if I don't drink, but I drink every now and then. Do I check I am a drinker, or do it say social?
This is the thing. If you're a social drinker, then you're not a drinker. If you drink, well, it wouldn't be classified as you being a drinker. Like if I say I have 2 glasses of wine, maybe, a week, then I'm not going to be classified as a drinker.
You're not a high risk.
Yes, but if I'm saying I drink every day, I have at least, 1 cocktail and, 1 glass of beer, or whatever, and I say that I drink frequently, then yes, then they're going to be looking at you like you are a higher risk. Versus, but drinking, everybody does it in society, so I don't think that there's anything that says you can't drink. But if you're indulging in drinking, just like if you're indulging in food and you're overweight, they're going to take that weight into factor.
So you get a policy on weight? You can be fat, and I'm just saying.
Listen, the higher the risk, because the whole thing is that you're working on a matrix that literally is scaling everything, because this is this company's money that they're putting up and saying that if anything happens to you, they're going to pay. So they're assessing their risks.
So it's like you're like an investment.
Right.
Yeah. So if you weigh like 500-600 pounds, their policy going to be high.
500-600 pounds, yes. I mean, they're going to say that
you're obese.
Not only are you obese, but it's going to be very difficult for you to find a company that is going to insure you, because now you're at risk for diabetes, high blood pressure. You're going to have a whole lot of other ailments that are attached to you being overweight. So now the risk level goes up, because now you're putting yourself in a position where, the company is going to have to, pay more. Or not pay more, but the company is just not really going to look at it like, okay, this is a good risk to take, or this is a good investment, because the company it's insurance, but they're in it to make money as well.
Well, this is the thing. What do you do when you have a person? Okay, so I'm asking this question. This is for a friend. Somebody got a question, and I'm just reading the question that they asked me. What do you do if you want to get a policy,
Right.
but you smoke between 2 to 3 pounds a week of marijuana?
Of marijuana? Oh my goodness. Okay, so
Damn.
I'm just a messenger.
Smoking it better.
whoa. Okay, so man, so that's not tobacco. That would be like an illegal substance, depending on where you're located.
I'm glad you said that.
They got it down as illegal. They got marijuana down as illegal stuff.
They have it down as a drug.
Okay, well, basically, quote unquote, I think they have a prescription for it. I didn't say.
I'm like, why?
Look, they would like. They might need to send in their prescription.
They have marijuana down as an illegal substance.
It's a drug, yes.
So what about in the states that is legal then?
Then I think that they have it reworked.
Okay.
I
But
think,
here it would be
right.
yes.
So that would be something that it would actually go to underwriting, right?
Okay.
Right.
Now, if they're smoking 2 to 3 pounds, you said 2 to 3 pounds.
Yeah, 2 or 3 pounds of marijuana a week.
A week.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
I mean,
night.
Snoop Dogg does it.
That's
so,
like
I mean,
a chain smoker. Yeah, but Snoop Dogg is like an anomaly. Like, he's
I
not
wonder, does
the
Snoop Dogg
average.
have life insurance? I mean, it may sound stupid.
He does. I'm sure even if he doesn't have it, he has enough money to have like everything taken care of.
Right.
I mean,
So he probably has other investments.
so what advice
But
do you
he
have?
does have life insurance. I'm pretty sure.
So what advice do you have
Our
to
annuities for sure.
Right.
the advice you have to this person? Do you want to tell them this is my
Does
advice.
he have a prescription? Is he prescribed that?
I'm not gonna say I don't know. I don't answer questions. I don't know.
We'll run the scenario either way.
I was gonna tell him just do a pound a week.
Let's say that he has a prescription for it, right?
Okay.
Right.
And this is in one of the legal states, right?
Okay.
And you wouldn't ever go, I would hope, and tell anyone I smoke a pound, because how would you even measure that? Like,
Right.
how many joints would that be if we were really?
I'm curious. STIXX, how many joints would that be? I'm not saying that you may know.
Man, in a pound. It depends. Let's just say you're gonna get about 200 nice ones.
Hold on, wait.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't have any lungs after that.
If you rolled them nice.
Wait, now people smoke differently.
Yeah, about like 200.
They make big
Now,
super
you roll
extra
them
large.
like in backwoods and stuff like that. I say kind of like the same thing, but I don't like smoking 200 backwoods in a month like that.
Yeah, you wouldn't even. I don't even think you would have a cough to go with that. But I don't.
Cause
I don't have any idea.
That's for them young cats, bro. Them backwoods, that shit rough.
So
It's not like that's gonna be harsh on your lungs and your
okay.
chest.
So the advice that you actually have
So
is
my advice is, if it's in a state that's legal, which some states are legal, and it's not looked at as illegal. Like, let's say, for instance, this person was in California.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that anybody would get so specific that they would be like, how many pounds of weed do you smoke? That's crazy, like just the amount. But I'm just saying that I think that if they have a prescription, what they would do is they would apply for the policy. They would actually submit that they have, a doctor, the doctor's name, address, number, and they would say, hey, look, this is prescribed for my glaucoma or whatever condition it is that they have. And they would submit that in with their policy. And at that time, that would go to the company for them to review. And then they would see if this is going to be, something, or if they're going to have a markup in price.
okay.
Now,
If they would consider that as a
what
smoker.
if it's illegal?
If it's illegal and you're doing an illegal substance and you're putting it on your application because this is what you do,
Underwriting gonna say no.
underwriting is going to look at that it would be very difficult for me to really answer, because that would just be up to the company and their discretion. They may appreciate your honesty and
Tell you no.
HPD will be at your door.
Right.
I'm
Look,
just
I
saying.
cannot confirm or deny what's going to happen next.
Okay.
Be at your door. The law's gonna be at your door.
Okay, I got another question
Now
from.
you got pounds in there.
I know, like
The
you
insurance
got a
company
lot
said
of
that
pounds,
You smoke in there.
Now
a
that's
whole bunch.
see, my iPad was going off in my phone because I had questions that people wanted me to ask for the episode,
Awesome.
and it works out. The next question I have is: do they cover a policy with a person that has a sex addiction?
Wow.
That may sound
I don't
stupid.
even think that that's a question.
Is that
That's
in
not even a question
Yeah.
on there. Like I've
Is
pretty
that even an addiction though?
like
Well, you
somebody that's addicted to porn or
Yeah.
something like that. I mean, it's a thing.
Because your heart, man.
I mean, I would consider it as a thing though, like not
It's a
an
thing, but
addiction.
I mean, I don't know because
they want to
now
know,
you
do
have,
it like qualify under exercising? Because you're exercising, so would that be? I mean, it sounds stupid. I'm
I mean,
I'm
if
reading the
it's
questions.
exercise is always a good thing.
Right.
So we're
Keep
not
your heart
gonna say
pumping.
that.
Whoever it is.
Look,
Keep
you know
your
what?
heart pumping.
These are crazy, funny questions. But literally, to answer that in all honesty, if you have an addiction like that, I don't think that has anything to do with
So you
life
can't get a
insurance.
policy.
Yes, I mean that's not even a question that anybody is going to ask you
Right.
if you
Okay.
have an addiction to, or if you have any other unhealthy addiction. Now, what would be a question is if you engage in risky behavior, like do you enjoy jumping out of airplanes? You know, do you?
What you? They have policies for people that jump off airplanes?
They have a separate type of policy, but just in
was gonna do it.
general.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, see, I was gonna do skydiving.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to do skydiving. Matter of fact, either next year or the year after next. I wanted to see how I feel to jump off of to just like go up in there and just jump off, and I think called parachuting or something like that. I was gonna see if the whole Outsiders cast, if we can go out.
Yeah,
and-
because I was about to tell you I want to do it too. It's
Yeah.
like it's a place in
Fancy
in
said
Katy.
no. Fancy said no.
Like for real. It's a place in Katy that you can go. You're going to get on the plane. They're going
iFly?
to put you on the
Oh,
plane.
no.
No, I
And
tried.
then
I
you
fly.
just gonna-
You know, I tried that.
No, they're going to
Yeah.
jump out with you. They're going to jump out
And they
with
gonna hold
though.
you.
Yeah, you're going to be in like one of them little
Would you actually
scenarios.
jump out of? Okay.
No, I'm not engaging in any kind of risky behavior.
I
Okay.
want to.
But can it void your policy?
Yeah, like if something happens and you don't have that covered in your policy is not responsible for you deciding to jump out of an airplane.
Dang.
Yeah.
Even if you don't get hurt, you have a heart attack. It's still.
You know what? That's
That's a good
but
question.
you have a heart attack because you jumped out of the plane and now your heart is working harder and you're doing something that you would not normally do and that caused the heart attack. Then I don't believe so. I think that when you go to these places and you engage in these activities, they have a disclosure form that they make you sign. And they say that, if anything happens to you,
They're not responsible.
right.
So you can come back and sue them on their insurance
on
policy.
on their policy,
yeah.
right. So I mean, just I do believe that there are some policies like for firefighters and police officers or people that engage in these kind of activities, but just in general,
Like, nah.
Okay. Next question. I got STIXX. I got questions. I got a
I
list of them.
know that's so good. Come on.
Okay.
I love questions. Questions are good.
Everybody on mine keeps asking me like, what?
Look, I'm gonna turn this Wildlife label.
Okay, Wildlife vodka.
Where the number? at?
Wildlife.
Okay, this is the next question. Can you transfer a policy to another family member if you pass away? Can you take that policy and transfer it to somebody else?
If you pass away. So at the point that you pass away, no. But what you can, that will be kind of like a beneficiary. Like
Okay.
you can have a beneficiary for the policy and you can have,
I think-
a number.
I think what they're saying is, so let's say, let me give it.
Now you can sell the policy. Like let's say for instance that.
So let's say I'll give you a prime example. I don't want to cut you off. So let's say if I got a policy and STIXX is on my policy.
Right.
And let's say I want the policy to continue and I want him to take over the policy. Can it be passed to another person to continue the policy, or they have to start a whole new policy?
No, you can't pass in a policy
Okay.
like that. Now, what you can do though, like let's say for instance you have a $500,000 policy, right? You find yourself in financial strait, and you're like, you know what, I've liquidated everything, and the only thing that I have left is this policy that has $500,000 on it. You can sell it. Like, people will buy that policy from you and give you cash money for your policy.
Is that legal?
You. Yes.
So I can actually go.
Like,
so if he had a policy for $1 million,
right,
and he bought it earlier on, and I
right,
want his policy,
right,
but are they going to check me for my health? Do I still have to go through the questionnaire?
That's nothing to do with you, because you're buying his policy that's
so
already
like
in place.
Something has to happen to me for him to get that money.
Yeah, so when he transitions, you're going to get the money because you're like the beneficiary on there. So you're going to benefit if anything happens to him.
Okay.
Right.
If the next question, if a person was to have an actual policy,
yes,
and they was to if a person would actually have a policy, and they knew that they were going to die within a certain period of time, is the policy covered from day one? That may sound stupid.
Okay, no, that's a really, really good question. And I think that there is, like, if they knew that they were going to die, it would really just kind of depend on how they knew that they were going to die. If they were planning on taking their life and they wanted to make sure that they didn't leave their family or their loved ones without anything because they just knew that this is just too much, and I don't want to go on anymore. In a situation like that, there is a waiting period. It's like a 2-year clause in there for suicide. So if someone like got a policy and then they decided that they were going to commit suicide, the policy would not pay.
Hold on.
If they did unless it was like 2 years.
So they would have to wait 2 years to kill themselves.
Right. So they would have a lot of time to think about it.
I mean, that's good though.
And reconsider.
Okay,
that's smart.
I'm glad you said this. This reminds me of a story. I actually had a friend that I knew. Her nephew actually killed himself. And I think the mom had a policy on the young man, and they refused to pay because he committed suicide. Now, I don't know if it was 2 years that they actually had it, but they refused to actually pay.
And that's on a lot of policies, and some may not have that on there, but they have a suicide clause on the policies because I think what was happening at one point in time, people were buying insurance policies with the thought that I just don't want to leave my family with anything, but I don't want to keep on going. So they would, get the policy, they would transition, and then their loved ones would get paid on the policy. And then the companies were like, okay, well, we're losing money like this. This, doesn't make sense if somebody's just going to get $1 million, $500,000, and then,
kind of like taking one for the team.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, the next next question.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a big one.
Okay, I got another question for you. Okay, you're going to the next one. The next question is, if you pass away and you had a policy, could you leave your policy to an animal like a cat, a dog, or a giraffe?
You can leave your estate, like if you have an estate or something like that, and it wouldn't really necessarily go to that animal. It would go to the caretaker of that animal.
Okay.
But they would give it to the animal, just like, let's say you see a lot of that with certain people that have money. They will leave their whole estate to their kitten.
Okay.
Rasta.
Right.
Okay.
Just say that.
Okay.
And when they leave the money to that, if you're the caretaker, because the dog doesn't know how to use the money, you do. So if you're the human caretaker, then you get the money tax free because there's not any taxes or anything that's going to be applied towards the estate with Rasta.
Hey,
So
anybody got an animal?
Right.
Hey, anybody got an animal out there and you need STIXX or Run to take care of it, I'll be more than happy to take care of it.
So that's where that comes into play because they're trying to avoid and go like some back doors through.
I got you.
So it's people that actually do that.
Yes, because they're avoiding all of the taxes and all of the other things that come.
So it's like I'm going to leave it to my cat, but my son's the caretaker.
There you go.
So the person is getting the money.
Right.
No
or
wonder.
the animal. I mean, the animal has no use for the money.
Okay, this question is for me. This is my question. I have that since you said animals. Why they don't have life insurance policy for animals? That may sound stupid.
Life insurance policies for animals. I think that if they don't have it, which I haven't done any research on that,
That's a good
if
business.
they don't have it, then they probably will have it soon, because so many people are like becoming attached to their animals that they actually feel like these are my pet children, or these are, a part of my family, and they, give them the attributes of a human. So if they don't have it, they will. They will, because now they're starting to have funeral services for their animals.
Believe it or not, I mean, and I had a funeral service from my son. I had one, the whole 9 yards. Man, they took care of him. They made sure he had a nice little blanket. It was the whole 9 yards. So that is actually true. Yeah,
Yeah,
people,
but animals are though.
Yeah,
they like the sick.
I told somebody the other day we were talking about animals.
I totally understand that.
I tell people this. People say that dogs and cats are just animals. And I say no. They bleed like us. They have bones like us. They have hearts like us. They have organs inside of their body exactly just like we have. They can have teeth. They have teeth like us. They eat like us. They listen like us. They're like children. You can tell a dog sit. He know that means sit. If you tell him to come here, so they got sense. They're not dumb. They can even talk. We may not can understand their language, but they can actually talk. So they consider, to me personally, as a human being. They're human just like us. Like back in the days, they say, remember they said the apes was people back in the days, and as you look at it evolves, the apes started to actually talk, and they started to look a certain way.
Right.
So that right there, that's like super important. And if they can do life insurance for animals, whoever come up with that is going to be a millionaire, because so many people are going to be buying insurance for their animals and trying to get an actual policy. I think more people invest more money into their animal than they do it on a human being. Because think about dog breeders. Think about all of the money they actually spend, but I don't know what the specific.
Well, you have to also take into consideration like the lifespan of the animal and the care that they're receiving, because it's a little bit tricky, because insurance companies are just like any other business. They're not in business to lose money. So if, you get an insurance policy on this dog, say cat, and you don't take care of them, whatever, they don't have the life expectancy of a human. And, it just kind of really, they're dependent on their human counterpart, like their actual human counterpart, to take care of them. So you have people that neglect their animals. You have people that feel the same way that you feel about your animal, but you have people that feel like this is a dog. This is not a person.
Yes.
This is not a human. Right. They don't function on the same level. And I, can kind of understand. They're just kind of like, they're a domesticated animal, but they're an animal nonetheless. So you have people that don't have that same association. Okay. So you're going to have different, like if I wanted to, like let's say you did have insurance on a dog and you got $25,000 policy on this dog, right?
Right.
And you came into like some kind of financial strait. You've been having this policy.
Oh, man.
Who's going to tell?
Gotta run you over today, buddy.
That is. Just think about it. Think about it. If you have an animal. What if you had a actual dog,
man, that's
and
true
you
though,
had a $1 million policy?
Because at my job right now, if I go tomorrow and cut off one of these fingers, bro, on the job, they're gonna give me 30 bands automatically.
But is it
how many times, bro, I done thought about I can chop one of them boys so easy.
No,
you don't want to eat.
No, I'm just playing with y'all. But I'm just saying that I do. I understand like those kind of clauses, because
I mean, somebody might be $25,000 motivated not to feed Fluffy. I mean, I don't know.
No, that's the main reason I see why they don't have it.
Now I have another question and this has come from a lady. She asks I don't disclose her information, which I'm not going to do that. I won't do it for anybody. But can you get a policy if you are in a domestic abuse relationship, like you in a?
That's not a question on the.
Because people
that's
ask,
like the sexual addiction.
So
she can get a policy for sure, and I would suggest that she does, and I would suggest that she gets out of that situation as soon as possible.
Right.
Especially, if it's.
I was gonna tell her just get a policy for like $2 million and run.
Right. Oh, on him?
Yeah, that's the
abuser. Oh yeah,
because sometimes the person that's being abused can be and we're gonna have another episode that we're gonna actually talk about domestic violence with women and men, because they always feel like that
that it goes one way.
Yeah,
it
it be like it's a woman,
the man is it,
and it end up being the man. But I actually think honestly that when sometimes people ask questions to me and they be like, this is a stupid question. I'll say, no question is not stupid, because what we don't know, that's what we here for on this platform, to answer questions. Did it just so happen that we got ready to cut this episode, I was unknowledgeable that you knew about this. I was thinking this is just going to be a subject that we're going to be talking about, and just so happened we got the professional right here in front of us. I didn't know that. How long have you been doing insurance, if you don't mind me asking?
So I've been doing insurance. This is going to be 3 years in November.
You could have fooled me, man. I thought you've been doing insurance for at least about 10 years.
I started investigating insurance probably maybe about 15 years ago. So I learned a lot, and then I was kind of like, oh man, I don't want to sell insurance. I don't want to talk to people, and it was really hard for me to get out of that mindset that I had, that, people are not going to be open to it. People don't want to hear about it. Right. People are, just kind of like that initial fear of rejection that comes with it, and all of the negative connotation that, you a salesperson, and, I don't really like getting sales calls.
Yes.
And, I don't want to be the one on the other end bugging somebody, So I had heard about it. Somebody propositioned me for it. And, I had thought about it for a while. And, when the pandemic happened and everybody was going out and, really kind of rediscovering themselves, I was like, you know what, I'm going to pick this up, because this is something that I'm passionate about. And this is something that I really know that there's a need for, especially in our community. And I know that insurance is scalable, that there's insurance at every level. And it's just no reason not to have it. When you have loved ones that pass away without insurance versus loved ones that do, it's a different kind of grief. But it's a celebration of life when they have insurance, and it's a painful, I can't even describe the pain that comes with, mourning someone, not being able to pay, because when someone passes away, people don't realize that the meter starts going.
Yes.
If you don't have $7,000 within the first, week or a couple of days of them passing away, then
their body gonna sit there and wait until you get the money.
Yeah, and not only that, but you're gonna be accruing fees. It's like a storage facility. If your car gets towed, you're gonna get fees and charges, and the person that you say that you love the most, who's the closest to you, is gonna be the one enduring this pain.
Yes.
They're gonna be the one that has to come up with this money that they may not have. If they don't have a credit card, if they don't have money just sitting there, then it becomes a stressful situation. Then you go into Facebook and you're asking, people to support you on a GoFundMe. People are really kind of at that point, they're kind of feeling like, even if I have the money, why should I give you the money if you are not responsible? Because guess what? I wanted to go on a trip. I wanted to buy these shoes. I have different things that I have allotted for my money.
Yes.
So, and it's but now you want me to spend my money on you, not taking care of your business, when they they could have got insurance for, a nominal rate. It could have been as low as $35 in what was it?
$35 for the Walla vodka.
Yes, it could have been premium for $35 for some premium, and they probably got that in their house.
Hey, look, I'm not telling you guys to buy the vodka over your insurance. Your life insurance is very, very important. I would tell anybody any day to get the actual life insurance, because I can tell you personally, after just knowing my dad had something in place, and your loved one may not have nothing in place. But one thing about policies that makes it hard too is the simple fact that you have people that know you have a policy and they will kill you just to cash in. I'm not lying. That's messed
depends, up. But you got to watch your circle. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, $2 million policy on. So just think about it. Somebody
Number
know you got
one
$2 million.
is nobody should know that you have a $2 million policy if you do. If you do, then that's being very braggadocious and boastful.
Well, some people
everybody doesn't need to be in your business like that. And a lot of people that do have money like that. You don't see Jay-Z, who has money like that, walking around with a whole bunch of gold around his neck and a whole bunch of diamonds and, just like, I'm dripped out because I can be. And I think that people make themselves a target when you start talking about financial things, when you're like, oh, I have this, car, it costs, $1 million, and I have this, house and it's $3 million. You're going to get attention because
They
that's
coming to
what
get
you're
you.
seeking. But that's what you're going to get. You're going to get that attention that you're putting out that, hey, I want you to know what I have.
Okay.
And if people know what you have like that, then yeah, you're kind of
Could you set yourself a failure?
But you would be doing that in any industry. So it wouldn't just be, with the insurance. It would be just in life if you walked around and you had a pocket full of money and STIXX knew, oh, man, Ron has $25,000.
No, I ain't got no 25,000. No, don't believe it. Don't believe it.
Well, like I say,
But I'm just saying.
I got American Express. It had 25,000 on it.
I'm just saying, like, let's say he knew you had that cash on you. He might have 25,000 reasons, and you're like, I got a $2 million policy. That's way more than 20.
Yeah, that's my dog. But as a disclaimer, everybody that knows me knows I've been walking around looking like a chandelier since I was young.
Yes.
So this is a disclaimer. Like, this is what I do.
Don't think you're going to cash in.
Yeah, don't think you're going to cash in.
If you carry the cash in.
You better have an insurance policy.
There you go.
If you ever thinking that you're going to cash in.
You cash in.
That's when up gets done up, right?
Yeah, that's just as a disclaimer. Because anybody that knows me know I've been like this since I've been young.
Yes, that's right.
That's just in my soul. That's just me. But
Yeah. Don't try it. Don't try it.
Y'all better holler at Fancy and get your policy.
And,
Right.
If somebody wants to get a policy from you, before we wrap up, if somebody wants to get a policy, please tell them how they can actually find you on social media.
Okay, so on social media.
She don't do social media, y'all. Let me rewind that.
Fancy be hiding.
You got a website?
Actually, I do have a website that's coming. So
okay,
I don't have it up yet.
If y'all want to get in contact with her, all you have to do is go to Wildlife Magazine, send us an inbox, and we'll give the messages. Make sure you put in there for insurance and Fancy, and we will get you her number. Now, we're not getting you her number, but you can call her, ask her, can you take her out on the date? Because people ask stupid questions, man. They're going to do that type of stuff. Like, hey, you'll call and talk to them about a policy, they'll meet you, and then they forgot about the policy. All of a sudden, they trying to take you out to go get something to eat. She's not trying to eat a whole bunch of food to get overweight, because that's going to void her policy. So she's not going to do that. That's not going to happen.
Not at all.
At all, period. And speaking of policy, wow, I got you here. I have an actual TV show I'm going to work on after we do Unorthodox. It's going to be called The Policy.
Oh,
yes. What it's going to be is, okay, this is what it's going to be. It's going to have it's going to be a TV show where it's going to be this guy running game on all of these ladies playing with the paperwork and stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is going to be like really, really, really good. It's going to be like a really good series. And these women he's going to have a group of women that he actually hires, and they're going to be setting people up. Man, it's going to be good.
It sounds like it's going to be pretty interesting. Yes. I can't wait to see what kind of policies they got.
No, we going. I'm going to make sure I'm going to make sure you're going to be incorporated in the policy, because we got to do the isolated rate. Right now, shout out to Tony Hickman. Tony right now, she actually is about to drop her book. And I heard about the wonderful things. I don't want to get no spoiler alerts, but I heard about the stuff that you did. Man, y'all make sure y'all go out and buy this book. Stop eating the wrong shit. I mean, that's gonna be a good book, man. Right. And she got the music video that's coming out and stuff. So the policy to get them to actually, if they decide they want to get a policy, you have like art brochures and all that stuff that they can actually see.
Right. I have information, and I have, as an independent agent, I have over 25 different companies that I'm working with. So I can get something across the board.
Did you hear what she just said?
Oh, yeah, I know.
She just said independent agent. Now, she didn't say that she worked for Allstate. She didn't say she worked for Geico or all these other insurance companies. She says an independent agent.
And she mean that.
Yeah, you can tell.
She gonna come to you.
Yeah, she gonna come to you. She gonna come to you. She gonna get you right. She gonna sell you the policy that fits you. Just make sure, what you do if you have you ever dealt with somebody, that didn't know how to read and you had to explain it to them? They may sound stupid.
No, because I think a lot of people don't read.
Okay.
Or they don't want to read. They don't want to take the time. So what I have to do is I have to take the time, and I enjoy, because I learn so much. Like, there's policies that literally can be used as your retirement plan. Like, did you know, how old are you, Ron?
I'm 42.
You're 42. So let's say you want to retire at 65, right? You have a policy that you can literally pay into for, what is that, 23 years? Till you're 65, and it's a diminishing policy. Like, literally, you pay for it for the first 23 years, and then it pays you out. And it's like the money that you get, like, I'm going to show you, and it's going to blow your mind that you can actually get this much money, like, from your policy. It's going to pay out from the policy.
If I was to get a policy
directly till you're 65.
If I would do it,
65.
I wouldn't cash out until I'm 69. I want cash out till I'm 69. 69 will be the number I would cash out.
The policy goes for another 20 years until it depletes itself. Right. Wow. So you get all of the money that you put in, you get it out.
Plus, do you get interest?
You get interest.
Oh man.
Right.
Interest is a good thing.
It's a beautiful, beautiful plan. Like, and I learned that, and they have information from the companies that they update me with, or they just have it written and just knowing how to read your policy. So a lot of people need you to explain. And that's why I think, insurance agents do a disservice to their clients when they don't read and they don't know
because they be trying to make that quick buck.
Talking about. Right. They're just like, hey, just buy this because you're supposed to have it. But they're not explaining to you what it is, what it does, how it works,
and how it
what are your
you.
Options, how you can, really benefit from it. And, if it has any additional riders where you can have your children, added onto your policy, whatnot. So it's real intricate.
Okay.
And so, yeah, readers are leaders.
Okay, readers are leaders. STIXX, tell them how they can find you on social media.
Man, y'all can find me on Instagram at King Bodied. That's KNG_Bodied. And you can find me on Facebook with my government. That's Unri Chambers. That's HENRI.
Okay, and you all, everybody know, you can find me on social media. You can go to the Rikers with an S, World Order. You can go to Wildlife Magazine on Instagram. You can go to the Partition DA. Partition behind it, and you can go to Kicks and Tricks A&D, and you can also go to the actual Rikers World Order on Instagram as well. But question I have is very important, since I got both of y'all in the studio. The people want to know, when will we see Fancy and STIXX on The Outsiders again?
Oh, wow.
A lot of people been asking me that. They've been asking me. A lot of people have been asking me.
You gotta ask.
You know how you be doing me every time.
Well, a lot of them are still shooken up because
you gotta ask Fancy.
Okay. Well, we she got shot on the episode already, and people really haven't really seen her back on the show yet. And some people ask me, has she left? Is she dead? I said, no, she's not.
I'm right here.
She's actually pretty good, man. I mean, the finale to the Outsiders, I can't tell nobody because I promise it's a secret.
Don't.
It's gonna be shocking.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Even the cast won't even see this coming.
Oh, wow.
This is gonna be good.
What I will say is that y'all gonna see Fancy.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Timing is just right for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Even though y'all haven't seen Fancy, it's okay because y'all gonna see Fancy.
Right.
She's still there. Don't think she went anywhere.
Yes.
I ain't go nowhere.
You're not gonna see her in it. The new episode is finna get ready to come up, which will be episode 10. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna see her on 10, but I promise you will see her on 11 and 12. That's gonna be the episode for November. For the people that know, November and December,
so
you will see her.
So y'all can start dogging me again and telling me how I ain't.
Man, they be killing you on the question, man, in them comments, man.
I know, dog.
Man, they said he did shot his son on the last episode. Man.
Wow.
I'm the villain of the show right now.
He's Stick Man.
Yes.
But he's really great, y'all. Yeah, he's really super sweet.
Yeah,
and
it's cool though.
Speaking of real good, I am so happy that we actually we had a change of a lot of stuff on the show has changed. I don't know if nobody paid attention, but we actually, from the last episode that came out last month, episode 9, we was at about 600 and something subscribers.
Right. Yeah.
We're over 1,000.
Yeah,
we got 1,000. Yes, we got 1,000.
We
and a lot
gotta
of
have
people.
another one of these bottles.
Hey, you want to take you another shot before we?
A small shot.
A small shot. Okay, let me get him a small shot.
Yeah, but we
premium
over
vodka.
We over that threshold, so that's gonna be good. And I'm ready for the vampire.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'm gonna be.
You look like you could be a good vampire.
I am.
Well, you know, STIXX is actually going to be a vampire on the show.
Vampire.
I wonder, are you gonna bite Fancy? If she was to come on the actual show, would you bite her, or would you let her make it?
Nah, man, I would have to bite her.
You wouldn't let me make it?
No.
Oh man.
You gonna have to come. You gonna have to come on over to the other side, man.
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna have to bring you there.
Oh my goodness.
You know, Isolated Rage is going to be good. Tony is going to come, but she's going to probably come in the middle or towards the end of the first season, the Isolated Rage.
Right.
But a lot of people have been asking me a lot of questions about unorthodox. And I'm basically going to answer that right quick before we leave. Unorthodox is going to be a good show.
Right.
The way we're going to do Unorthodox is when people saw the trailer to Unorthodox, they was kind of confused. So what I wanted them to know is when you watch Unorthodox, it's going to tell you how it would have been if Lieutenant Hickman wasn't the lieutenant.
Right.
Imagine if it was STIXX that was the lieutenant. Can you imagine if Captain Williams wasn't Captain Williams and somebody else was that actual captain? What would it be like if Lil Ron wasn't an outsider and Lil Ron was actually STIXX?
Right.
Everybody
So
roles are going to be switched. Almost like
switching roles.
Yes, it's gonna be switched, so they'll get a chance to see the opposite way of everything that's actually going on.
And it's still gonna be in cartoon.
Yes, it's gonna be in a cartoon form. We gonna do that because we wanted to make it different.
That's nice.
That's gonna be good. The first episode is going to launch. I didn't tell nobody, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it on the show. It's gonna come out next month. In fact, I'm dropping it on Black Friday.
Right.
So the day that people need to be sitting down watching it, and the opening is gonna be good because Unorthodox is gonna be so good because it's stuff that we did in the Outsiders that nobody never seen.
Right.
From an alternative scene with you and Fancy with the gun. They don't see that. That alternative scene is going to be in Unorthodox. Then when you got the part, you remember Stuntman shot the cameras out. People don't know about that yet.
Right.
That's going to be in there. So we have so much stuff that we're going to do in Unorthodox. It tells what if it would have been like this.
Right.
So Unorthodox is going to be the thing. And make sure, if you guys want to be supportive of the show, somebody asked me this question, and I told them just give me 3 weeks. I'm going to say it first. Yes, we have the panel T-shirts coming. Right. So I'm going to make sure everybody on the outside is basically going to have it. We got outsider shirts and we got the panel shirts. There's actually, because people going to be asking, when can they actually get a shirt? Now, the question is, if somebody asked me if they wanted to be a guest, I told them, depending on what we're talking about, we never going to turn down a guest, but I say it has to at least be 3 of us on the actual panel. As long as we got 3 people on the panel, we don't mind having a 4th person to come in and actually being a guest.
Yeah, and they still want to call in them.
Okay.
That's what all my people saying.
Okay, well, as of the next episode, we will have the new call-in numbers where they can actually call in, and then we can actually talk to them live on the air, and then we can basically go from there. So call-in is coming. We'll have call-in right before Halloween. The week before Halloween, we'll have call-in, and they'll be able to call in, and boom, we good to go. So until next time, man, thank everybody for listening to the panel, and make sure y'all check out the outside. And don't forget, get your policy, man. Please don't walk around and leave your loved ones with that burden, man. Get that policy, man.
Make sure your people good.
Yeah, take care of your...
I'll have my information with Ron.
And also, when she get that website, we'll make sure it update in the description. You guys will actually know from there. Until next time, we out. Peace.
Thank you for stopping by today.